camera.
You got his own plate? Oh, ain't that nice? Why? And now you
of John Andrea. What's the F in that house? Of John Andrea. John Andrea. All right, here we go. I'll the whole thing. I think we should tear the sign down. Bullshit. Does anybody want to sit here and take a shit? I did. Hey! What the hell is John Andrews playing? Doesn't say so anymore.
This place is probably booby crap, you guys.
We're gonna go and check.
When did you become aware that he was residing there?
I think I became aware on Easter Sunday this past year when my sister Wilma and I walked over there.
What happened on that occasion?
We were just having a nice walk after we had to cut the lock off the door.
Is that you in that photograph, man?
Could be.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure.
Do you know if that's a photograph of the inside of the house?
I wouldn't know unless you told me.
Do you have a recollection of having a photograph taken inside the house?
It could be me and it could be the house. I don't know. I absolutely was not allowed in the house. I could only peek in through the windows. And that was only when they weren't around.
Did you ask for permission to go into the house?
I certainly did. They absolutely had everything locked. Everything. And would not allow me in it. She was over there when I came over there. Besides calling me filthy names. They would not let me in there. They didn't let me in.
When you peeked through the windows of the cabin, do you recall what you saw?
They took the few things that they thought were worth saving and just ruined the rest. It looks like the house that Jack built.
What time did you encounter anyone there who tried to prevent you from going on the property?
Well, prevent us from going in the house. Mary wanted to get in the house, and she told her, "Nope, it's not your house. It's mine. I'm the one that's going into this photograph." And I do believe this is Carrie. Both of my sisters were here. My mom, Aunt Jean, Carrie, some other guy. I don't remember his name. Daniel. There were a number of us. I don't remember.
Okay, so it's quite an event.
Yeah.
Was Mary
No.
oh, how you got in the house?
You know, I believe we broke a lot, but I'm not sure. Because, I wasn't the one that got into the house. It was, if we broke a lock, it was probably my husband.
We talked about the cop.
At some point in time, under extreme difficulty, I was able to get in that house.
Do you remember about when that was?
Of course it wasn't this year, and of course it wasn't in 11, also wasn't in 10 or 9, so I would venture this would be 208. But it's been years since I've actually been able to be in that house.
December of 2009, Terry Boyd Davis and Brian F. Davis filed a small claims case against John Pandry for allegedly tearing down a fence in May of 2009. John Pandry spent May of 2009 in the state of Hawaii.
Well then, in August of 2009, there's my Aunt Mary up there, and she told me her son John.
Terry then said to my grandma, Nellie Gilberson, somebody destroyed our property. They might destroy yours. Then to Mary said, we know who did it. It was your son.
But a sheriff came to my home, and I was just arriving from Los Angeles, and I had my friend staying there, and we were just sitting down to have dinner, and a sheriff pulls up and says, I've had a complaint that you tore down a fence. And I said, what fence? So he walked me back there, and there was some Los Angeles Police Department crime scene or something like that, yellow tape, and it was on the ground.
And in regards to the rebuilding the fence, yes, we have put up the yellow tape.
The Davis' fence, which consisted of official LAPD police line crime scene do not cross, aka the yellow tape, was strung across the Baker's land. What in the world was that official LAPD property doing strung up across the Baker's land in North Idaho? What in the world?
Now, you say Mr. Davis came to your home.
Yeah. We heard a knock on the door. Come on in. And upon that time, I see Mr. Davis in my house approaching me. He pointed his finger and he said, if you ever touch anything I do again, I didn't even know who he was. Didn't know who that was.
Mr. Baker, did you feel threatened by that incident?
Yes, I did.
Mr. Baker, in that email, you were referred to and called a bunch of names, is that correct?
Yes,
You were called a big crybaby, correct?
that's right.
Also references you as the picked-on little fat kid who overcompensated by being a bully.
Yes,
Also calls you a bully and a jerk, does it not?
that's what he said.
Ms. Boyd Davis also referred to you as a tattletale and a mouse of a man, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now you mentioned an incident where plaintiff Brian Davis came over to your house, and did you threaten to shoot Brian Davis?
Yes, I did.
What did you say to him about shooting
I
him?
was so upset at the time for this person to come into my home and threaten me in my home. I said, if you ever set foot on my property again, I'll shoot you.
Feel threatened by Mr. Davis?
Well, I was shocked.
Did you invite Mr. Davis to come over to your property?
No,
And you're in the middle of litigation, correct?
that's correct.
What time of day did he show up at your house?
I don't know the exact time, but it was sometime after 5 o'clock. It was already dark time, so, I mean, it could even be 7 o'clock for all I know. We were just sitting, having dinner, and we were watching television.
Did it surprise you to have someone you're involved in litigation with show up at your house?
Very surprising.
Thank you. When you say someone placed your name, how do you mean?
Well, we used to have a sign on the fence when we first erected it that said, this is the property of Tim and Carol Baker. And it had been ripped, and only our name, Tim and Carol Baker, it was planted right on top of this pile.
Have you been in stressful situations in the past?
Yes, numerous times.
Have you been trained to handle stressful situations?
Yes, I have.
By whom?
United States Naval Warfare Command, United States Marine Force Recon, United States Air Force, Delta Force, FBI, CIA, Secret Service, and numerous private agencies.
Have you been in life and death situations before?
Numerous times.
Have you been in situations where people around you are being shot at and killed?
Understood.
Did you consider those situations stressful?
Yes.
Did you yell and scream in those situations?
No.
Object to this whole line of questioning is going way beyond the scope. I think we are going beyond the scope.
My next witness is Terry Boyd Davis. And I will be questioning myself.
You will be. It's not the first time that this has happened.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Please state my name. My name is Terry Boyd Davis. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
I am going to order plaintiffs from having any direct contact during the pendency of this action. Mr. Davis, you knew better than to go into that house. Don't go confront someone. Ms. Coleman, do you have any questions?
She's not here.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, this is my mother, Ethel Boyd. Jean Cole's not here.
I apologize.
Okay, they're sisters. They look alike.
Terry Boyd Davis, signing motions and filings as Terry Boyd Davis, plaintiffs pro se. It appears on behalf of all of the plaintiffs. That was just too much. The defense to this, really I'll fashion her defense as twofold. The first is that they're similarly situated parties, and the second is that this isn't the appropriate remedy. Well, as is similarly situated parties, Your Honor, that doesn't mean that she can practice law. The second is as to the appropriateness of the remedy. She's right. We have tried to fashion an equitable remedy, and we would appeal to this court to fashion an equitable remedy. The appropriate action here is contempt, 6 months in jail, $500 fine.
There was an unauthorized practice.
Posted on YouTube by Terry Boyd Davis, March 24, 2012. Brian just got through watching this, and it made him mad all over again that they did this. He said John is lucky he did not catch him in the act. Indeed. Deanna Boyd Barrett posted on YouTube, March 24, 2012. Wow, how do these people live with themselves? And how do they manage to deceive other family members into believing that they are justified in their evil deeds? I just cannot wrap my mind around it. Sunday, May 27, 2012, at approximately 10:45 a.m., I was sitting at my table upstairs doing paperwork. Sunday, May 27, 2012, I was at my residence, which overlooks the driveway into the Pandria Gillette residences, at about 10:50 a.m. About 20 minutes later, I saw the same man standing. Mr. Davis looked at me as he walked by and said, "Snitch, you better watch that gun." I said to him, "You better watch that gun," referring to my shotgun I was holding. And then Mr. Davis showed me his concealed revolver, which he posted on YouTube, March 24, 2012. I love that they have reaped what they sowed. Love it, love it, love it. Terry Boyd Davis. Two perpetrators got into their car and drove 40 feet to where I was sitting and stopped their car. Carrie Clark exited their car. Carrie Clark looked at me and began berating me in a very unladylike fashion. She told me, finger into the air at me in a very unladylike fashion. They sped off while I laughed at the absurd, vicious insanity that I had just witnessed. James A. Gillette, April 8, 2012.
Why did he dissolve the trust and convey the properties out of the trust in 2010?
First of all, I thought it would be kind of nice to go up to my own property and not be harassed, not be called dirty names, not have people yelling at me, driving past me. Yes, that's fine.
And by your own property, are you referring to parcel number 10, or are you referring to 1, 2, and 10 altogether?
Number 1 belongs to Mary Pandria. My sister, Mary Pandria. The other 2 are not.
my house. Don't say my house is been. My house. I don't give a shit what happens to you. I don't give a shit what happens to you.
You're trespassing on a private residence.
You son of a bitch! You're trespassing. Get the hell out of here! Because he doesn't want so many. Mommy, here today, take you there. We loved your music.
You're trespassing. You're trespassing, people. You need to leave, people.
Ethel Boyd has a beautiful riverfront residence on the Pack River. Ethel and her guests have easy access to the Pack River. The Boyds go out of their way across the Pack River Bridge, trespass across the Thornton's land, to trespass and harass the Pandrias. Ethel Boyd is vigorously and blatantly attempting to vilify Mary and steal Mary's land through treacherous and deceptive means. Ethel is an unwelcome intruder at the Pandrias, and she knows it very well. Ethel has been unwelcome since she began victimizing Mary in 2005. Ethel and her daughters call Mary's land, quote, our family farm. Mary purchased and has owned this land since 1981. Mary has made many improvements along the way. Ethel Boyd's actions violate law and order over and over. The fact that she manipulates others into her tools for harassment, including children like her grandson Joey Barrett, seen in the preceding video clip shoving Mary with his grandmother Ethel peacefully looking on, is extremely troubling and damaging. Ethel Boyd and Terry Boyd Davis have both been told to stay away from the Pandrias residence. On September 1st, 2012, again without Pandrias permission or proper court order, Ethel and Terry were captured on video creeping around the Pandrias residence. Camera 2 looks southeast down the upper access road at a location which an intruder could easily step off of the road down onto a rock outcropping and peer directly down at the Pandrias back windows and house no more than 200 feet away. Ethel Boyd, followed by Terry Boyd Davis. Deanna Boyd Barrett posted on YouTube March 24th, 2012. Wow, ugly is as ugly does. Beauty may be skin deep, but ugly is to the core. What the fuck? Mom is right. Mary must be stopped. Kudos to you and Mom for fighting and winning against those evil bitches. Put on your Wonder Woman suit and get down with your bad self. Hell yes. Camera 4 is attached to Gillette's residence looking southeast down Pandrias Gillette's driveway at 4687 Upper Pack River Road. Mary Pandria drives up her driveway. She believes she sees Ethel Boyd and Terry Boyd Davis up ahead, trespassing near Mary's house. Terry Boyd Davis appears to be holding a pistol. Mary quickly pulls up as the two intruders duck into the bushes. Terry and Ethel ducked into the bushes near Mary's house, circumnavigated Mary, then quickly and calmly exited out of the bushes and down Mary's driveway. Kerry Clark committed fraud against Mary Pandria in 2010 with the assistance and guidance of Shirley Beatty and Terry Boyd Davis.
And by your own property, are you referring to parcel number 10, or are you referring to 1, 2, and 10 altogether?
Number 1 belongs to Mary Pandria. My sister, Mary Pandria. The other two are not.
So you conveyed out of the trust by virtue of Exhibit 44, all 100% of parcel number 2 to yourself, didn't you?
Actually, my attorney made a mistake. I only wanted my original 5.3 acres that my father had willed to me. She made a mistake, and it took quite a bit of undoing. Well, I didn't mean to say that. Just like everybody makes a mistake. I hadn't intended to take that, and Shirley didn't mean to do it either. Yeah, she didn't mean to do that.
Did Shirley prepare those deeds?
Yes.
Did you prepare those deeds, didn't you?
No, she didn't. What do you mean? Well, I mean, I thought Ross would use. What do you want to know?
Do you have a niece that works for Shirley Day?
No.
Do you have a niece that works near Shirley Day? And say,
I don't even know this town. It's only the first time I've ever been here in my life.
Carrie Clark was born and raised in North Idaho. Carrie has lived her entire life in the Pacific Northwest.
Carrie?
Yeah, yeah.
Can somebody put me up to conveying property out of the trust, the 15 to yourself, the 5 back to Mary, and so forth? Can somebody put you up to that? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No. Jesus.
Carrie Clark again committed fraud against Mary Pandria in May of 2012. The following document excerpts represent the recently discovered, due to its covert non-disclosure, fraudulent conveyance of May 2012. The names of the following individuals appear on the document, testimony to their own personal involvement in another fraud designed to harm Mary Pandria. Shirley Beatty Law, top of page, returned to Terry Boyd Davis, upper left, delivered by Ethel Boyd, upper right, Deanna Boyd Barrett, Kenneth Barrett, beneficiaries, and Carrie Clark, grantor trustee. Well, once again, we have a blatant attempt to steal through fraud the land and residence that Mary has worked very hard to establish and maintain, known as 4687 Upper Pack River Road.